We are done. We have it. It then goes down to Game Ward versus Dusty to see if we actually get a push towards that tiebreaker for top 2. That's, or for, you know, basically the seeding of top 1 or top 2. So that is what is on the line right now. Coming into this one, this is effectively it. Schalke, you got to win. If you don't win, you're done.
Yeah, simple as that. And I mean, there you go. I got it right first try. Didn't have to look at the VODS sheet. But
just took you about 4 tries.
It took me 4 tries. You know, listen, you shoot enough, you're gonna score. Schalke, they go for the LeBlanc first pick. So big takeaway from Barkland. A lot of focus you'll notice towards the bottom side of the map, of course, from Dusty, taking away the more aggressive options from Take Set. Plain and simple, we've seen what aggressive options can do in the major regions. And Schalke still, with the bottom side core, very capable of executing those kind of compositions. And Dusty, with those 2 bans in mind, will just immediately slam the Sivir in response. You can expect to see, oh, well, I was going to say probably a mid lane match at the same time, but they're going to go towards Linkus's pretty coveted Diana. Slipped my mind for a second, which could set up here for a Diana Yasuo, right? Diana Yone also an option, but not quite as potent as that Yasuo. And whilst I would normally say what you want is point and click options to lock down these picks, like Zeri, like LeBlanc, it's kind of hard to get away from a Diana engage, and all Barkland has to do as soon as he sees the icon flare up is just press Zaki. The lockdown is there, the burst damage will come through. It's more about whether or not they can actually clean up the kills on the backside. So Dusty already coming out, all guns blazing with this Diana Yasuo composition.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a way to go. I will say for Dusty, it does lock you into a little bit of a precarious situation. Schalke take away the Zeri Yuumi. You've locked in the Sivir already, which means you're probably going to see the Lulu ban coming out here for the side of Schalke and Nulfir. They're going to go ahead, take that off of the team. Yep, there it goes. Yep. So you're losing that extra little bit of Enchanter support. So that Sivir's going to have to probably go with the hard engage. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them ban away the Amumu. So that means Amumu, Nautilus, and Lulu all banned away. That makes that bot lane much harder for Dusty to actually come out unscathed.
Yeah, no, I really do agree, Ashin. I think it's a great counterpoint to where Dusty are in the draft right now. I think they're still going to be happy. It's very much like a shotgun comp, right? You have to hit everything, and once you unload, that's it. You've got to wait to reload for a solid minute and a half until that Diana ultimate comes back up. Great call on the Amumu, like you said. Now the engage tools are gone. The enchanters, the stronger ones, kind of gone. You can still go towards Renata at worst, but I think, yeah, Rakan makes a little more sense. We saw it last game. Rakan can go a little bit unpunished, can even, you know, find a little bit of time to go roam up towards the mid lane, top lane. And I think when you're running Diana Yasuo, that's always going to be pivotal. And now the crucial thing is, Kerberos has R5. So whatever elite joint goes towards here, he's going to be very, very happy. Going for something which really does break the game. We saw it into Schalke when he picked the Mordekaiser, and this time around we'll see what he'll have in tow, as that's just a Fiora slam. All right, I guess we're going back to your home region. Going back to the LPL.
Back to the LPL. Like nothing ever changed.
I wonder whether Kerb will be willing to throw down another duelist, or whether or not he'll go towards something the team can really, you know, leverage off of here, because I think Dusty's team composition is so suited to team fighting that you would want to round out the draft with more team fight. But he's the kind of player that would just go something like Jax or Darius and very happily try and win the 1v1.
I was gonna say, we had an interview right off of the day one first game for Dusty. We talked about maybe some pocket picks we could see coming out for them. He was like, look, I'm excited. I want to see Kerberos on something that maybe he can just take over. He was like, the Darius is something we got in the back pocket, and the Darius is something we will get. Good to know as well, the apprehend from Darius is a knockup. It counts as a CC for the Yasuo, so you have even more opportunities to 1v2 and get people into situations.
I need to derail you quickly, because there's also something of very big import to note. Elite Joint is, of course, the substitute coming in for Isma. He's the support substitute. He's actually going to be playing Yuumi here as we go past the 20-second mark. Lilip is going to be the one jungling. So, bit of a swap up, but this does effectively mean we have less off-rolls in total, right? I suppose Schalke, of course, had that extra time to kind of play with roster, you know, plug and plays. Jaeger obviously being the jungler off-roll, then you had Elite Joint off-roll. It makes more sense to have it this way, where now you have Elite Joint in his native role, and Jaeger, of course, as well in his native role. I wonder if Dusty were ready and prepped for this, because obviously they joined in the order you can see on the HUD. Oh, the observers, I hate them, aren't they?
So how it works as observer, it is literally the worst thing in the world because your keys are hotkeyed. So for example, on the blue side, you're hotkeyed to number 1 being the Yuumi now, whereas normally you would think number 5 is the Yuumi, and that's where things get a little bit funny. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate.
So I know the observers can hear us. Can we get like a zoom in out if that's accurate? I normally don't interact with the observers. I'm really curious because I guess that's really going to be irritating. Maybe, I mean, so obviously for competitive reasons, the games are played, I believe it's 15 minutes ahead of time. So there is a big enough gap there. So I assume observers maybe had time to rekey the hotkeys for the champions, right? Because Jaeger's in the correct spot on the HUD. But in the HUD at the bottom.
Yeah, that's where it gets it. Yeah, so you can actually change it on the left-hand side. I learned a lot, man. I've been in the back end of production for years.
Yeah.
Like I know how the stats work. I can do teleprompter, both on screen and behind the scenes. I can ruin
man
it
of
for
many
you.
talents.
Yeah, well, you know, you have to do it sometimes in esports. There's not a lot of consistent jobs. You kind of just gotta get what you get.
I suppose that's true. But let's focus in on the game. I think even though, you know, it's always going to have been a bit of a weird one to track. I think Dusty very happy with their draft. Obviously, this Diana Yasuo, they've even got the Rakan for a little bit of extra, you know, sort of full up, engage, lockdown. They also have 4 melee champions, so I think that could honestly be okay for Takeset as long as he can keep away from Linkus. I think when he's always going to have Elite Joint on his back, the ability to have the final chapter come down and sort of lock down any forward engages can also be of pretty big importance. So we'll see how Takeset does here, as now that Schalke actually have, you know, all of their players bar Lilip in their native roles. I wonder how much better they'll actually look in talks. It felt like definitely, you know, Dusty could kind of, in their previous matchup, abuse the fact that there was an offer on the top side and Kerberos is such a strong 1v1 top laner. This time around, it is the man who was in the NLC and maybe considered the best top laner in the league in spring in Jaeger. Kerberos, of course, pretty close second. I think more people would probably put Chasey as the strongest individually, but Kerb definitely brings a different flair of gameplay with picks like the Darius. Number 3 comes in.
Yeah, gonna try and maybe work this one in. He does have one more vital to proc, but he gets dragged back in. The ignite is good. Flash for Flash. Kerb is not dead. Be ye of little faith.
I like that. Be ye of little faith.
You'll learn a lot from me. I come out with some absolutely weird turns of phrases because I'm Irish, and people are like, "Wait, what did he say?"
I'm noting that one down, but really nice from Linsus now. Linsus is gonna just guard Kerb on this. But will Schalke still bite? There's no flash.
There's no flash, and he put himself way too far away from the turret. Really nice turret juggling. And again, we question the role swaps coming out here, and that Schalke are fully committing to it. Schalke are saying, look, we need to make this work as best as we possibly can. And they get 2 quick kills off of some very proactive play.
Excellent execution from Schalke. No matter how you slice it, that was excellent. 2v2 in the top side. Linsus does the correct thing, covers his top laner on this crash, but he just doesn't have enough HP to work with. No flash from the exchange previously, and they just full send it. Doesn't have enough health to work through all of that burst. The wave crashes. Buckler just to chunk him down a little bit more. Even really nice micro there because he's got the red buff. If they walked in straight away, it would have been an immediate attack from Lilith, so they just play it even more patiently. The riposte also just to kind of stop that apprehend, and then Linsus does what he can, clears out the wave. Still unfortunately goes down. Lilith is the lucky recipient of that kill. And honestly, last week, despite the issues, Schalke still looked pretty okay in most of their games. So I think now that they've got Jaeger back in the top side in a role where he's far more comfortable, and let's be honest, in this meta right now, junglers don't really have to know too much. They just have to look.
Way to flame a 20% of the entire population of League.
I'm a jungler, all right? I know how, you know, you can be pretty absent-minded to play the jungle role at times. All you really need to know is, do I need to be here? Do I need to be there? That's kind of it. And I think for a player like Lilip, who already plays the support role, he's going to have a pretty good understanding of where to be on the map anyway. It's a relatively okay comparison in terms of, you know, sort of in-game role, especially in the early stages. So I'm sure he'll be all right as, there you go, just, you know, bot side. Hey, take set, and I need a little bit of help crashing in this wave. Just backing him up. Like, it's as simple as that. You don't always need to be super aggressive. Right now, Lilip is just filling that role.
Yeah. I like the idea as well, where you said you don't have to be like, you can be two different types of minds. I always imagine, you know, the Simpsons clip where it's just like, I know you can read my mind. And if you find out you skip school, you're dead. Well, speaking of dead, Kerberos might just be it. He's got Ghost popped, but he's got nowhere to go. And we talked about this counter pick, or this big kind of pocket pick coming out from Kerb. He doesn't actually fall down just yet, but the pressure is mounting. This is a huge wave, and because he has Ghost, it means he doesn't have TP.
Yep. He's going to have to miss all of that. You can see the XP bar. Jaeger, I think, is going to hit 6 there. And Lincers will probably come up here to clean up. He's already level 6. So I suppose Kerberos, he's not having a fun time. But Lincers is picking up a lot of XP. And remember, this is a Diana Yasuo composition at the end of the day. That's what it's underlined as. If Lincers is picking up a bunch of resources, a bunch of gold, maybe this actually works out a little bit better than you'd expect. I think the obvious rebuttal is, well, Fiora is a bit of a ticking time bomb on the side lane, right? And how will Kerberos handle that? He'll be very familiar with the matchup on both ends. He is a Fiora player himself. So we'll see how he continues to navigate at this deficit.
I will say, I don't think Kerberos is going to be as enthusiastic, shall we say, about the way things are kind of going. Lilip trying to make something work here. Nice double knock up here from the Steel Tempest of Backlund's Yasuo, so should be able to keep himself nice and safe. But this is where the real litmus test comes in here for Lilip about being a jungler, because it's all about when and where you get yourself into situations for the objectives right now. You got Dragon Spawn, it's still very early in the game. You won't be taking that solo just yet, but you're gonna have to start to see timings come in. Back timers are where we start to see those small little differences that make the difference between a good jungler and a great jungler. So we'll see what he's able to kind of do right now. But so far, it is actually a gold lead for Dusty, despite the pressure up that top side and the 2 kills. They're only a couple of 100 gold, but that is still a big, significant move. We might see a grand challenge be put down to Kerberos because he has nowhere to go. And he's going to be taking down one more vital proc, and that's going to be Jaeger with the solo bolo.
Yep, Jaeger is snowballing out of control here in the top side of the map. This is something that I don't even know if can be corrected by Dusty at the moment. As I think that went over to Lilip, but there's an engage.
Yeah, it's onto a Poppy, though, so really difficult to take down. But with the red buff ticking, Dusty make the Yasuo-Diana combination work, and they get themselves the first kill of the game.
Yeah, I think Dusty really have to start coming alive here in the mid-jungle towards the bottom side of the map as well. See what priority they can find. I'm noticing Stend is roaming off from the bottom side quite consistently. Turn that into a dragon. Turn that into Dragon Stacking. See what you can find there. Pull the Fiora away from the side lane ASAP, so she's not doing what we're seeing on our screens here to Kerberos on the top side. Jaeger with the solo kill.
And they end up doing something on the backside of this one. So again, Dusty not to be outdone. They want to try and put pressure onto the, you know, quote-unquote inexperienced jungler. And Lilip almost makes it out, but that red buff just too strong.
Yeah, too strong. Double dash. Really nice stuff from Lincers. And again, this is one of his champions. His kind of pocketed picks, if I may. He's going to get engaged on here. As Lilip a little bit too deep. No, he's playing Poppy, so he's all right.
He's playing Poppy, but he's still level 5 compared to level 7 of the Diana. So he's really not in a position to try and, you know, knock people away, get total control around this Rift Herald, and it's going to be stolen back by Dusty. So this is where we start to see, again, those little small differences. Little very, very positively kind of, you know, active in the start of the game, but he's 2 levels down.
Yeah, he is 2 levels down, but I suppose the most important part away from that is more Dusty picked up the Herald, numbers advantage was in their favor. What are they going to do with it, right? Because topside's gone. Let's ignore the top lane, I think, actually. I don't want to look at it unless Jaeger's getting a solo kill.
In fairness, I'm glad you said that, but because the Yumi's in the slot with the Fiora it's really messing with my head to see with it. So yeah, you know what? Let's ignore it. I don't need to look at it anymore.
Oh, do you know what's actually quite funny? I assume as well, actually, that obviously because of the way that the new HUD works, we're actually just looking at the Yuumi gold, the difference between Kerb as Nada won't land.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're probably looking at the gold difference too.
I just realized that. You're absolutely correct. Well done, Kerb. 1,000 gold ahead of Yuumi. Good job.
Good stuff, Kerb. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a little bit hard to gauge where exactly in gold they are against each other. But, well, I suppose actually there's the total gold button, right? On the score. Yeah, so I guess it's never going to be... Oh my god, he's 1.2k down.
Yeah.
But
now that we look at it,
it's never going to be too hard. But, yeah, Kerberos is not enjoying himself right now. I think Dusty... I think that lane's too far gone to correct. Like I said, drop the Herald. Mid lane, bot side. Then Voxnate, always a really solid win condition. This guy... I've had the pleasure of casting him on and off for the last 2 years now. And, very frequently on his rosters, he has played towards, he's given resources. And when he does, he carries. He's the man who will get you across the finish line. Summer champion, of course, this year, but also very much a core reason as to why he's the summer champion of 2021 under the Tricked banner. Very fun roster that was as well, actually. RIP Tricked. But top side, Kerberos.
Got a little sad at the
He's
end
been
there.
getting bullied. Thank you. The Tricked rosters they're pretty close to my heart. But Kerberos, he's been chunked out quite a lot here. Lilip, he's eyeing up again. And you can see Dusty, they have their mindset on the bottom side of the map right now. So this is something that Kerberos is going to have to handle 1v2.
I don't know if he's going to be able to handle it, though. He's going to try and clear the wave, but now that his Q is down, he gets knocked back by the heroic charge. Wow. That is a very simple gap. So again, regardless of everything else, you went into this Fiora knowing you wanted to try and get that Darius counter pick. You were on the red side, and it just isn't really working out. I think Schalke and Ulfira have been doing a fantastic job at just mitigating this top lane. I will say that they are losing it around the rest of the map because of the focus they've put into that Fiora. It's gonna come down to Jaeger to honestly carry this one on his back.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think what's kind of a small bonus for Schalke is despite Dusty having very consistent bottom side priority, mid-lane priority has been a little more wishy-washy, right? But this dragon only being picked up 12 minutes into the game, we're not looking at a 22, 23-minute soul. And these additional 7 minutes past how quickly this dragon could have been picked up could go a long way in giving Jaeger a window to play that side lane out, play the 1v1, cause a thorn in the side for Dusty right now. As the gold lead at the very least, the total gold lead is in favor of Dusty. Of course, a lot of that gold funneled into then Voxnate. Severe win condition, always a very strong one to lean on. But my only issue is Schalke aren't really running a front-to-back composition. So how much, use in damage? Oh, then Voxnate
does get the flash out of Lilip, which means he has no escape. Double knockoff into the moonfall, and your super fed Fiora will not be able to get out of this one here. Even burns the flash to try and get the kill there onto the AD carry, but Dusty perfectly capitalized, and that is the power of the Sivir and the Rakan as you come into these mid-game skirmishes.
Exactly. Sivir's going to be able to empower all of these melee champions I brought up earlier. Really short range, maybe take second, take advantage. But the core thing to really note as well is that Sivir, then Voxnate, he's going to embolden, empower all of these melee champions for the chase down, for the recollapses, whatever it may be. And that was just a really great engage from Stend. Really nice spell shield as well. Just reads it perfectly. Lip. It's kind of hard to ever have that play not be telegraphed, to not get spell shielded out on. Maybe you flash during the EU smite if you're really cheeky, but it's so hard to do sometimes.
And the thing is as well, like, look at the summoners you use double flash between the Fiora and the Poppy, and look, Lilip, I love the aggression, I love the idea that you're going for these things, but you are falling so far behind. He is nearly half the CS of the Diana. The Diana is like so far ahead of him. He hasn't even finished his first item. He's so far away.
Ooh, she's nearly perfect CS in Kerberos.
Well, he
maybe
does have
Lintus
flash.
can save him.
Yeah, he will definitely be able to. Kerberos just trying to maybe bait him in a little bit more as the Rakan comes in. They get the Moonfall back down, and welcome to the band's house, Jaeger. You tried your absolute best, but they are now focusing you out because guess what? That Fiora is not going to be as big as this Diana.
Nope, not at all. And I mean, Schalke did a really good job of shutting down Kerberos, but the big issue was every time they dove Kerb on a stacked wave, do you know who was there to pick up that CS? It was the Diana. Hence why she's so damn strong. So I think this is now going to maybe even be a bigger repercussion of their own actions, unfortunately, where they weren't always able to stop Diana from soaking up those waves. The first one, yes, sure, they dove her, but at the end of the day, she picked up the wave. I think she got level 5. It was such a massive wave.
Yeah, it was.
It's just been a massive snowball.
I mean, again, it's just it's sadly just the difference between good and great. It's the The swap ups obviously are not ideal for Schalke. We're not gonna try and, you know, paint a pretty picture for it, but you got to make the best of what you've got. And I liked the early proactivity. It's just that now we're coming into the mid game where jungle's role is so crucial to be in the right position, to be in the right area of the map, to make sure that you're covering for all these different things. It's just not quite there, and that's the difference maker so far.
Yep, 100%. And on the opposite side of that aggression, and with Lintus being put so far ahead, the opposite side of the map was also the big worry. And then Voxnate had the Herald dropped for him, picked up that tower, and also, just as a small footnote, that Herald also charged on the bottom tier 2, so that tier 2 is also pretty chunked out, as you can tell by the mini-map. But also topside now picks up an additional tower. He is up almost 2,000 gold on take set, should have the Phantom Dancer in base. Just take a look at the mini-map, the Cage is playing with it.
I mean, it's just
my silliness.
It's just hard. Again, like, I think even if you take the most fed member of Schalke, no fear, he's still 1,000 gold down on the most fed member of Dusty.
See, this is what the HUD's good for.
There you go. We get to see a full comparison of the two most fed members. But yeah, like, this is just becoming harder and harder. Nashor's 2 coming up there, you'd imagine, for Linkus is trying to see if Jaeger can make something work here. He's 3 levels ahead of the Rakans, so Sten does need to be a bit more respectful for that. But yeah, with the Diana and the SO off to the sides, it's very difficult to make something stick. And this game is just going to get a little harder and harder. It's a 4,000 gold lead out of nowhere. I didn't even notice it there until I looked at the HUD. And we're going to see maybe an engage, steadfast presence to stop it. And again, they're just posturing around this dragon pit.
Yeah, and the one thing I also want to know is that, yes, Kerberos is put really far behind, but Darius passive plus Conqueror gives him so much AD. If he goes unchecked in these team fights, he's still gonna pop off. They put him behind in the 1v1. That's all they really did. He's still gonna be... Ooh. Okay.
they thought someone was there. You had no vision there,
you know
Dusty.
What? I can respect it. And now, you know, we're talking about 4 melee champions who are going to be diving into, you know, relatively mobile champions, a lot of damage as well. Mountain's going to be nice for them, and no zoom in means it's not a cloud route. Yes. I'm rude. Every game, I'm just, you know, praise the wins, guys. Praise the wins. Praise the wins.
You're definitely a first season Avatar, The Last Airbender kind of guy. I can tell.
Can I tell you something really bad?
Of
I'm
course.
not sure if you were in on this running joke. I've still not watched.
What? I have both season 1 and season 2, as in like the 2 different stories on Blu-ray. I will send them to you. I will send them to you.
It's funny because this is a running joke between me and Hip Brain, actually.
Of course
where I need to watch it. But we'll talk about that in a second because, yeah, Jaeger's going to need some real fancy feet to get out of this one.
Ooh, nice riposte to stop him from getting down. They don't get the Noxie and Guillotine in, but Jaeger, it's only so much you can do, my dude. You tried your absolute best, and yes, you get a 1-for-1, but you're just going to be overloaded.
Yeah, and what's really nice about these side lane picks from Dusty, sure, this one goes a little more awry than they were probably hoping for, is that take a look at the rest of the map for Schalke. What are they cross-mapping here? Whilst this commitment comes down from 4 members of Dusty, the answer is nothing. There's no topside wave that's being worked with. The mid lane wasn't able to be shoved in. That was just take set versus Barkland. Really clean cross-maps. And again, look who gets funneled. More resources, more gold on the back of the play. It's then Voxnate. He's already 2 items, and I would imagine he's probably going to be encroaching on 3 very, very soon. He's all right.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the build. I thought it was Nashor's too, because that's the old kind of Sunfire build.
Demonic Embrace.
Yeah, Demonic Embrace. So looking for more just kind of shredding with the AoE. Yeah,
it's the sort of new style tank hybrid build where if your champion can stick really well, nice
attempt indeed. Given an A for effort, they have to commit quite a bit on the backside of that. As the Moonfall is good. The Diana does fall, but you've lost the Zeri. You're gonna lose Lillup. You're gonna. Kerberos, I feel for you, my dude. I feel for you. There's just he's never gonna get to ult, but a quadra kill comes out here for Den Voxna. We gotta quickly avert our attention now towards Jaeger, who might be looking for a little bit of a 1v3. Gets knocked up, but they will not continue.
I'm sorry, I can't ignore it. Curb is a really level-headed guy. I have the pleasure of knowing him slightly personally. I'm sure if weird anything would have tilted it, weird flex, if anything could have tilted it, it might have been that. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, the initial engage was just an attempt. The turnaround was definitely pretty stellar. And if Barkland is any closer, he's just over the wall. I think maybe if he flashes over the wall, he would have been in range to maybe follow up, but it doesn't really matter. The highlight of it really is just poor old Kerberos looking for the dunk resets, gets 2 cancelled on him. Quadra kill comes in though from Denvoxnate. And now, Baron attempts, I mean, not Curb, Denvoxnate could have 3 items.
I was just about to say, 4 kills will definitely get you enough when you had almost the makings of it. We're going to see the charm being used here. Lilith on top of the quickness. He shall be going down. Yep. And that's going to be an easy pickup here now for Dusty. They're kind of sailing away with this one here. 7,000 gold. Baron now in their back pockets. And again, I think I said Lilith was on 60 CS about 10 minutes ago. He's now on 90 CS. So he's increased it by 50%, but he's falling even further behind.
Yep, he is indeed. Now with this Baron, you imagine there's so much going to come from this. And this is the threat of these kind of compositions, right? From Dusty, these death ball comps where you've got some kind of enchanter. In this case, there isn't one, but Sivir is basically just a free Karma E with, I think, more movement speed that resets. So, honestly, if Schalke ever try and approach them 5v5, they just get run over, plain and simple. Yeah. I don't think Takeset can really escape this anymore. Lilip, even if he gets a good steadfast presence, it feels like the overbearing numbers that just get like flooded. It's too much for the Schalke side. Now they're down 7,000 gold. Again, I'm always willing to be proven wrong. Maybe they can find something. Earlier. Yeah, we saw what happened there. And I mean, picks like this could work.
I mean, picks like this can work, but they have to be able to secure them off because it gets very close when you do have that wind wall. But they committed their 3 ultimates to try and make sure they get into that kill. Of course, the LeBlanc went on such a short cooldown, doesn't make that much of a distance. And Lilip just trying his absolute best to make sure he's being as big of a nuisance as he possibly can be. But it does mean a turret goes over in favor of Dusty. They start to open up the map. Remember, let's reaffirm. Caught myself for a second. Decay, trying to see if he can make this one work. I really like the confidence coming out here from Schalke. They should be able to back away from this one. Dusty, though. Oh, finally, Kerberos gets the smackdown.
He's unlocked.
He's unlocked, unleashed, but he's going to have to walk away because he doesn't have the backup of his team. But again, Dusty picking up kills. They're going to try and want to contest, I imagine, for this dragon.
They're still willing. I think now with Barkland back up on the map, he just has to make it down here. I don't know if Linkus has the damage to one-shot Decay.
Oh, he's going to look for Decay to try and do the same thing to him. Force the flash out. Dead's box now coming in. Trying to see if he can make something work for him. He gets himself the kill. That's going to be a nice little setup here. Going to put himself on the soul point. 23 minutes or just shy of it. And like I said, this game has massive implications for these two teams. Dusty, if they win, they are in. They will lock Game Ward and themselves into a top 2 situation, and Schalke alongside Matchco will fall to the wayside. We will have our 2 teams locked in Group D, but it'll still come down to seeding later on the day, so still plenty to play for, specifically for Dusty and for Game Ward if Dusty end up taking the win.
Yeah, and let's see if Jaeger's gonna get caught out. He is.
I mean, if is now a when, so yeah.
Yep.
There's the pentakill. Denvoxna finally getting that kill onto the Fiora.
There you go. It's delayed a couple minutes.
It happens.
And, I've been sitting on this point for a little while, but we've had a little bit too much action. So, you know when Draven can't cash in for a little while, and it's called Blue Blades.
Go on.
Now, Darius and Draven are brothers, right?
Yes, that's true.
So when you can't get a dunk on Darius, what can we coin a term for that?
Maybe just the blues, I suppose. Because I don't know how else to go about this, but I'm probably making my producer very mad at me on broadcast. So we're going to see Lilith try his best to defend that mid lane as the rest of the Schalke no fear. They're going to say, look, you've got 1 ult off. You shall not get another. As I say that, he's still going for it. 1 more bit of scorch damage. No, he gets the healing, and Decay wants it. Decay wants it, and he takes him out. Kerberos got his Darius pocket pick, and it has looked anything but good. 1 and 6 on the pick. He's not really had any impact, but the ricochets are starting to do enormous damage. 3 items, Sivir. It just means you cannot run away. This game's all but done, Jamada.
It is ult pick.
Oh, nicely done. They get the kill back, though. Again, it's just a bit of pride at the moment for Schalke. I think they see the writing on the walls. They know that this is going to be the last meaningful match they really have here at the Amazon E Masters.
Yeah, I think Ryan's been on the walls for however long ago it was, then Voxnay got that quadra kill. Unfortunately, it just feels like Dusty have too much control, and I'm not sure what scaling options could ever really bring Schalke back in. It's a nice pick. Not then Voxnay. Kerberos, however, lasts perhaps a little longer than he deserves to. Gets the 5 stacks, walks out. And
I love that from Decay. That was really clever.
Same. And you know, I've got to say, if Kerb hits the empowered Q part and heals up, it's missing HP that you get back. So maybe it could have been all right. But yeah. See here.
Look at this little ricochet. Look at it. Oh, no, never mind. It wasn't ricochet. It was a boomerang.
It was ricochet. That got him that low. And then boomerang blade. And then yeah, Decay just says, you know what? I'll take this shutdown. I'll die and give over another kill. But I like gold. And
who doesn't like gold?
Exactly. And you know what? All credit to him. It's going to get him quite close to decap. So maybe he can have a little more to work with. But it's still 10,000 gold down as a team.
I will say, it's weird that gold became like a powerful metal or like a valuable metal. Because as metals go, it's probably one of the weakest in actual like uses in the world. Can't you? It's super soft.
I learned this through Minecraft. Smile.
That's how you know he's a real gamer.
I built my first gold pickaxe, all blinged out. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to mine diamonds of this bad boy, and it broke in like 10 blocks.
Yeah. I also thought gold was great, and then it was not great. But Dusty gonna look to take the Baron, get themselves some more gold for themselves, despite it being a soft metal. Still hurts if you get hit by it. Now, the Yumi's been caught. They're trying to try and kill off Elite Joint before he can get back in. On top of it, Lilith thought about maybe getting a kill there. They did knock out the Diana, but wasn't to be. And I think the Fiora split push is all you can really do right now. Dusty are anything but right now. They are feeling calm, cool, collected, smooth, running really well. They're not worried about this game. They're just kind of just dotting their I's, crossing their T's. They're gonna be in the game of the year. There's no one to defend.
Nope, exactly. Yeah, Jaeger on the bottom side pushing in. This inhibitor's going down. There's another wave coming. 10 seconds though on Lilith and Elite Joint. Not really sure how far they can go, but they're gonna at least look for this first Nexus tower.
They're going to look for the Nexus Tower, and you're asking how far can they go? Well, if they win this, it's going to be quarterfinals at minimum for the side of Dusty. Schalke Null Fear trying their very best. Again, it's such an uphill battle. You've got everyone back up, but there's the Moonfall. They're going to try and make this one work. The wind wall stops any kind of rebuttal, and your one win condition, your one ticket that maybe had 2 numbers of that mega jackpot in the lottery just ended up being bunk. It was for last week's lotto, so it means absolutely nothing. And now Dusty, they're all going to be able to get themselves right up into the quarterfinals, and they're going to bring Game Board with them.
What a story for Dusty. I think most people coming into the split, you know,